So you might be interested in learning how to purchase apartment buildings. You might be interested in how to purchase single family properties. You may be interested in getting consistent cash flow every single month so you can quit that 9-to-5 job. Well, today I'm going to share about how you can acquire apartment buildings using other people's money, and how do you find those people, how do you get other people's money, how do you get approved for that process, and I'm going to break it down today. A lot of you are probably interested in, owning single-family properties or, multifamily apartment buildings, but you have no idea where to start. You're terrified of taking the risk, and you are going to be nervous having a conversation with someone that understands the process and you don't. So today we're going to be sharing about how do you have those conversations, where do you find those people, how do you make sure that you know the verbiage to be able to handle those conversations, to acquire the money so you can go and purchase those single families or multifamily apartment buildings. If you're new to the channel, I'm Brandton Shriner, and we created this channel to be a one-stop shop for everything you need to crush your first deal or your 50th deal. We want to provide tons of content for you to help gain momentum and insight in your real estate journey. If you're having trouble finding the people to fund your multifamily apartment deals or even your single family apartment deals, or if you're even nervous to go and have those kind of conversations, you're not alone. Trust me, it was difficult for me to find the people to fund my apartment building deals, and it wasn't even easy to get approved. Just like some of you might be in college right now and you know that once you're done, you're supposed to have all these job opportunities, right? However, it's not always just that simple. Just because you've done a couple real estate deals doesn't mean necessarily you're going to be able to get approved for 5+ units of multifamily apartment buildings. So that's something you have to know, that just because you have some experience doesn't mean necessarily you're going to get approved. I'm also going to be sharing about, okay, what are the risks? Where do I find this money? And even if you find the money, it's like a treasure chest. Okay, you found this treasure chest, but you need to have a key. You need to find a way to get inside there, right? So, we're not just going to talk about, okay, where do you find the money, but also what is the key to unlocking that money so you can go out and purchase multifamily apartment buildings. In order to acquire multifamily apartment buildings, you're going to need access to bridge loans. You're going to need access to mortgage brokers. You're going to need access to a huge network. You're going to need access to sponsors on your deals. You need access to a lot of things in order to make that happen. Now, simply put, a bridge loan is a short-term loan. It can be from 6 months to 18 months, depending upon how many units you are acquiring. And it's a short-term loan. Eventually, you're going to want to get out of that loan into a fixed longer-term mortgage. So that loan maybe comes with interest, maybe comes with some percentage points, which are just a fee you pay at closing. And essentially, the goal is that helps you acquire a short-term loan that you can then roll into a bigger loan once you've renovated the units, maybe increased the rents, done a lot of improvements to that asset. One of the people you're going to need to find that's very important for you to acquire multifamily deals is you're going to need access to mortgage brokers, okay? Essentially, they have access to hundreds of lenders and banks. So they are this, at the top of the echelon, at the top of the mountain, and they have all these networks and connections of lenders they've known for years. And they are able to maybe source private money, or they maybe have high net worth individual friends that can come in and help you close your multifamily deals. If you hang tight, I'm going to share an unexpected way for you to find mortgage brokers. Now, earlier I spoke about sponsors, and the reason being is if you're not able to get approved for a bridge loan for multifamily assets, you may need to bring on a sponsor. Now, what is a sponsor? A sponsor is a high net worth individual or someone that has, a holdings in multifamily real estate. They could own a business, they could have tons of stock, and they can come and sign on your loan for you for the takeout financing later on and the short-term loan. So maybe you take a small equity stake and they're the sponsor on the loan so that you can get a little bit of experience on a couple deals, then you can start going doing your own deals by yourself. Now, let's not forget some of the fundamentals. You need to be networking. Okay, what is networking? Networking is simply telling people how you can help them and also telling people how they can help you, right? You could say, hey, everyone you should be talking to should be saying, you should be telling them, yeah, I'm looking for somewhere between 5 and 10 units for my first multifamily apartment building. Every single person you talk to in any kind of industry, in business, you should be saying, yep, this is what I'm looking for. and they will think of you when a deal comes up. Let's talk about some of the real risks when investing in multifamily apartment buildings. When you're raising capital for your multifamily apartment buildings, you want to make sure that you understand how leveraged you're going to be on the asset. How much of a discount are you getting this deal at? Is it completely vacant and it needs a full gut job? Or is it 100% occupied and you just need to recycle tenants? You want to know the liabilities you are taking on for yourself. So in one of my other apartment building deals, I had to raise some outside capital, and I also had to put down my own capital. But what I had to do was I had to give up some portion of equity on my other assets until I paid back my other investors. Now that puts me at risk. If I don't perform on this deal, then they have equity in my other assets. But once I take out that bridge loan, pay it off with a long-term loan, my investors get paid back, and there's no more risk anymore. I'm the 100% owner of that apartment building. But just understand, when you're getting into these deals, you're gonna have to find ways to get capital, and you have to make sure that you know what your ratios are. So make sure you don't make a dumb decision and over-risk yourself. Now, before we jump into any practical tips, I want to make sure I'm setting the expectation correctly. You need to be a deal sourcer. You need to be a person that's constantly communicating with other individuals in your industries, letting them know, hey, listen, I'm looking for multifamily deals, or hey, listen, I am personally sourcing multifamily deals. I highly recommend be the person out there talking to other mom and pop multifamily owners to source deals so someone else can sponsor you on a deal, and that's how you can get a ticket to the dance. When I first started, I was specifically looking for creative finance deals. I was looking for something that's called owner finance. So I told every single person I knew, I said, if you hear the words owner finance, you think Brandton Shriner. If you are sharing to other people, listen, you're looking for only 5 units or 5 to 10 units, you think Joe Smith or whoever you are. Make sure you're doing that so people know to bring you that deal. If you're feeling overwhelmed or you feel like you maybe can't achieve all this, don't feel that way at all. It's just one step in front of the other. And I'm gonna be sharing some practical tips for you to get started on acquiring multifamily apartment buildings. Using some of these practical tips I'm about to share with you gave me the skills and the tools to be able to acquire 5 multifamily apartment buildings just this year alone. However, I did have tons of track record in the single family space for years, but I use these tips, these exact same things I'm about to share with you, to acquire a 32 unit, a 14 unit, a 12 unit, and a 5 unit, all in the last 8 months. Now, not everyone knows this actually, but most major cities have a local real estate investors association. So you can go there once a month. All of the local investors meet there. That's going to be contractors. There's going to be lenders, mortgage brokers. There's going to be real estate agents, wholesalers, multifamily syndicators. Everyone's going to be there. So you can go to that for very, very cheap. Sometimes you can go for free for the first time. And out of that, there will be people that you can get mentored by. There are going to be people that you can find smaller subgroup masterminds where it's just maybe like 12 to 20 people that meet up, the third Wednesday of every month or something like that, and they just talk shop, have a couple beers, and talk real estate. This is an unpopular opinion. You may need to cut back on your lattes. Okay, I'm just kidding. I love lattes. However, you may need, just if you're a DoorDasher or if you're just doing an Uber right now as a side hustle, you may need to cut back on some spending and save up $500 and go to a local real estate conference around you. Find out whoever is the person, the authority in your major city, or pay for a virtual event and find a way to, ideally if it's in person, you can just go on vistaprint.com and create 100 business cards with your name, your contact information, your email. It doesn't need to be spectacular, and go there and talk to every single person or as many people as you feel comfortable with and hand out your business card and say, hey, here's how I can help you. Here's how you can help me. And that's a very simple, practical tool for something you can do in the area that you can expand your network just like that. Mentors are interesting because you can't force it. It's like a friendship. It's like a relationship. They won't even maybe call you their mentor. You might call them your mentor, but ultimately most mentors are wanting to help you without much in return. So if you can position yourself to be providing value to others and they see something of themselves in you that they want to reproduce, then they will mentor you, right? But the main thing is you want to be willing and available, be the person that just showing up constantly, and they may be like, hey, can you can you come on and do an acquisitions role? Okay, can you be a project manager for a little bit? And then we can talk about other further ways I can help your real estate career. And that's what happened with me. So, you know, it's kind of like the saying, when the student is ready, you know, the sage or the wise one emerges. And, you know, when you're ready to be mentored, someone will emerge in your life. Now, something you're going to want to do is you're going to be a person that's always sourcing deals. You're going to want to be a person that is always looking at multifamily deals. And ideally, once you've grown comfortable in talking with mom and pop owners, you're going to do what's called skip tracing. Now, skip tracing is essentially using softwares to find owners' contact information. And once you have their contact information, you're going to give them a call and say, hey, so-and-so owner, I'm a local investor in the area. I'm looking to grow my portfolio. We're buying these kind of buildings. Would you be interested in selling? Very straightforward, very, to the point. And there's softwares called reiskip.com or PropStream. They're going to help you identify and skip trace those owners, get their contact information, and help you on your deal sourcing journey. Now, just to clarify, my personal recommendation is that you get started in doing 5 to 10 deals in single family. That might be owning some rentals or some wholesale deals, and have the liquidity and stability in your life before you start going out and purchasing 5+ units. And to be clear, multifamily is 5 units or more. So you guys think that, a lot of people think, oh, I gotta go buy 100 units or 20 units or 30 units. You don't. You can just buy 5 units or more, and that's multifamily, right? So, make sure you get some, deals under your belt before you go in to do that. But yeah, 5 units or more is multifamily real estate. Good practical tip, if your market's very saturated, is to look about 15 to 20 miles outside of any major metropolitan area. You're going to find mom and pop owners that are not in the major city, so you're probably going to find discounts outside of the major city, but there's still people that want to rent out there. And because of COVID, it's changed the landscape of where people will live. People don't mind driving into the city once every couple days, or driving to the supermarket once every couple days, where now higher densely populated areas are just not as attractive as they used to be in some cities, not all cities, but yeah, look 15 to 20 miles out of your major metropolitan area for those mom and pop multifamily owners. The unexpected place where you're going to find mortgage brokers, sponsors, lenders, everyone in between, it's Facebook. And more specifically, Facebook groups. If you go and type in on Facebook, Dallas, Texas, real estate, you'll find probably, goodness gracious, maybe 50 groups just in Dallas for real estate investors. And go in there and say, looking for your favorite mortgage broker, looking for a multifamily lender, and you will get maybe 100 people within probably 24 hours, sharing their lender, or also, promoting themselves. So, I mean, it's kind of crazy, but there's hundreds of deals, maybe thousands, every single month that happen in Facebook groups. And a lot of people don't know that, actually. I haven't heard a lot of content shared about that. So Facebook groups, a lot of deals go down, and also a lot of lenders are there, a lot of agents, a huge network possibilities are there. So don't be scared to take action. Don't be afraid. Don't be nervous. Don't get overwhelmed. Follow those practical tips I shared with you. And, over time, you will find more deals. You'll find sponsors. You'll find mentors. You'll find mortgage brokers to help you acquire those multifamily deals. So if you found this information valuable, if you've, enjoyed the content, please consider liking and subscribing for the next video.